don't know if you guys are aware of this, but in the state of Kentucky, and I can give you guys the number if you would like. I'll actually post it on a later video. If you're having a problem with your landlord, it is illegal, and they cannot evict you. They cannot come into your house. They cannot even actually charge you rent. That's in the state of Tennessee too. I don't know the Tennessee number, but I do know the Kentucky number. As soon as I found this out, I come and I call the governor's office, which I have, because that's the corona number that they give you, and it goes directly to the governor's office. And it was such a serious issue, the guy said he was going to message it to the person, to the governor, and then go for the next part. One of the very few times I was in myself yesterday, I remember kind of coming to myself for whatever reason, I don't know why. And I remember saying, if anything else happens today, I'm going to fucking break. And my best friend gets a message from my neighbor next door, who tells us that her landlord come into the house without permission, and my best friend looked it up because I was too busy calling other numbers, and said that they had to give at least 3 days notice to do that. Listen for the next part. Of creating all these videos, I don't even fucking remember, and I'm gonna listen to them later to see why they were created, what their names was, and etc. So I can write them down and give them to my therapist so I can talk to her about them and deal with them even there, because I'm starting to try to want to deal with my problems a little bit, but still not a lot. But I love being an empath, and I love being sensitive to help other people. I just don't like dealing with my own shit, and that's my own thing. I don't know why that is, but I don't like dealing with my own shit. And a lot of times I don't even really like talking about my own shit, but sometimes I do to help you. Not to help me, because this ain't helping me right now. But maybe it's helping you go through your issues. And if it's helping you go through your issues, it's worth what I went through yesterday, because maybe you're facing the same things. And I feel like that's the reason why we go through things in life, is to help and inspire other people. Mom was living, and I actually had more money than what I got now. I used to go to concerts because I don't deal with shit. I can deal with other people's shit, but I don't deal with my shit. So I've been to like hundreds of concerts just so I don't deal with shit. But yesterday I was going through so much, and normally I don't realize when I create personalities, but in my mind, I remember, I was like, I don't want to talk to none of these other people that can't come out. I want to create somebody different. So, I don't remember what their names are at this present point in time. I know they're here on TikTok. They're still on my phone. And I'm going to deal with them, and I'm going to do what I normally don't do, and that's deal with them, try to figure out why they were created. And then I'm not going to talk about it no more. No matter who says it's normal, who says it's not, going to a random person's grave is not fucking normal. Okay? But in my mind, whenever I get so upset, I see a woman buried right next to her son instead of being buried next to her husband or another kid, which she had multiple kids. I even Googled her. I even found pictures of her. I even posted on Facebook to see if everybody knew her. She was related to me. If my mom was still living, she would have knew, because she knew the Lawsons better than I did. I didn't know who the fucking Lawsons was until I was 13 years old, because I thought another man was my grandfather, which could turn out to be my dad, because he molested my mom. But I didn't know that until I was in my 20s. But that's a whole other story, too. So I have a lot of fucking triggers, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of what's going through my head. So bad, I went for a walk. Normally there's a park down the street I go to. There's some wooded areas I could go to. But for some reason, when I get upset, I can't get to my mom because she's like 5-10 miles away now at her graveyard, and that's where I usually go when I get upset. But there's this grave up here, which is another kind of trigger for me, but it kind of helps me. Because I don't know this fucking woman. But I looked her up, and she's a Logston, my mom's a Logston, so we could be related. But she's buried right next to her son, not her husband, and I looked her up, she had more than one son. And she had like 2 husbands, and she wasn't married. And she was married when she died. But she wasn't buried next to either one of them. She was buried right next to her son. So I'm thinking, you must be pretty close to your son. So when I get upset, I go to this grave. And I just sit and I talk to her. And I don't know why, because that's crazy. Another trigger. I'm an empath, which is a good thing. I'm a sensitive, which is a good thing. Empaths and sensitives is a little bit different, but kind of similar. But I can also see ghosts, spirits, etc. So, yeah. And I also know what other people's feeling. And you can say you're okay, but I know you're not. And my best friend's going through a lot. This will be her first Mother's Day without her mother. And I'm trying to be there for her, but I'm going through all this shit. And I can't really be there for her if I can't be there for myself yesterday. And I, again, kind of feel like a failure. And I also got this group called Speak Up Family, which me and a friend Bradley created that group to help other people. But how can I help other people and be the empath or the sensitive that I am? And I'm going through all these fucking triggers. So that was kind of cool. Yesterday, someone got in my face. First, bitched at my dog, which I didn't say nothing about. Then bitched at his dog, snapped at his dog and grabbed it and got right in my face when he done it. And I went off. Because he got in my face. That's a trigger. And I'm not going to go much on that one because that's not that much of a big deal. But just a small trigger. Apparently, compared to the last one. The first one wasn't that big of a deal, but the last one was a pretty fucking big deal. Or the last 2, rather. So this was already 4 triggers, and it wasn't even 3 o'clock yet, and I got up at like 7 o'clock. And I told people, I was like, I don't know how much more I can take. Listen for the next part. So, I asked my mom if I could. I never cussed until I was 16 years old. I said one single cuss word. Except for bastard one time. I didn't know bastard was a cuss word. And I learned it on a cartoon. And Mom asked me if it was Space Raiders or some shit like that. Space Cadets, some kind of space shit. Who the fuck knows? But anyways, Mom's like, how'd you learn that word? And I said, from a cartoon. She said, I'll never say that again. So I know it's a cuss word, so I never said it again. And when I was 16, I asked my mom, I said, can I cuss? She's like, why do you want to cuss for? I said, I want to cuss my father out. She's like, okay. I know you've been going through a lot. So I said every single cuss word there was in less than 5 seconds.
Maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
And I pushed him off the porch and broke his leg. So when you get in my face, it fucking triggers me. And one of my personalities is named Cameron, and it's because of that reason. Listen for the next one. Okay. I had this thing when I was 13 years old. My dad used to get in my face, call me chicken shit son of a bitch, and keep slapping me and saying if I did not take it, I wasn't a Christian because I was raised Pentecostal, I was going to church, I was sick of the Holy Ghost. And I was coming home, I was getting this treatment every night. After he kept hitting my mother, and I told him if he ever hit my mother ever again, he would see his head rolling down the side of the railroad track, and I meant it. And that's the first and only time I ever got hate from him. And then he started hitting on me.
Fire, so
after
I had
that.
all right to blow your car up.
So if someone gets in my face, it's a trigger. Because I told him, I said, if
I put my own.
you want to see a saint turn into a sinner, I'll show you a sinner. Listen for the next part. And that just really triggered me, even though it was a good positive thing that he did, and I'm thankful that he asked me how I was doing. But where was he at all them other times? When I needed you the most, where were you at? What was going through your mind while I was in the hospital? After the second time I tried to kill myself, and I call you on the phone and ask you how we're doing, and he's like, I don't know, we'll talk about it when you get out. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just got out of the hospital. I'm just in the hospital, you son of a bitch. And why you telling me this shit? Now go on to the next part of the triggers. Because I've had enough of that. Okay. For now. It could have been a good thing. Really, really wasn't. I posted on Facebook after this second thing that happened yesterday that I was not in a good place right now. And my ex-husband comments, what's wrong? And then instead of thinking positive things, in my mind I'm thinking, where the fuck was you all the times I was in the hospital after trying to kill myself? I had to hunt you down because you had left. Where was you all the times that I was suicidal, that didn't give a fuck, and you just take off? Where was you when I was waiting up all hours of the night for you to come home, not knowing whether you was dead or alive? Where were you at? Listen for next. I moved on with my life, and I'm in a much better place. Right? So, that's fine. That's dandy. That's over. But it's part of the matter is that I thought that what I had should have been a love story because I was one of the first ones to get married. And it wasn't. It was a nightmare. It was horrific. And if I went through every detail of what I went through, you would know. And if you were friends of mine on Facebook, you would know. Because those friends of mine that was with me at the time, I was constantly posting on Facebook all the shit I was going through. It was horrific. I had a horrific nightmarish of a marriage. And I'm in a better place, and I'm better for not being in that relationship no more. Listen for the next part. This is one of the biggies. So after I got off the phone with the divorce lawyer, it wasn't the fact that I wanted him back. It was not the fact that of anything, because I was already pissed off with him because a friend of ours, like I said earlier, turned up he had the coronavirus, and more worried about what he was going through. He's more worried about why I tagged him, and I don't remember ever tagging him, and I don't think I did tag him, and the only reason why his name probably did show up is because there's no picture that I used that he was probably in, and I thought he was a narcissistic asshole. Okay. But it was the fact that I was not able to get married. I never thought I could get married, and I felt like I was a failure. Let's do the next part. He stood on my porch when I first got the first divorce papers in. And he told me what I want from him. And I looked at him like he was a fucking idiot. And I said, you son of a bitch. The only thing I ever wanted from you was your love and attention. And you gave it to everybody else, and you never gave it to me. So fuck you. And then I was ready to get the divorce. I had an appointment to go to the first appointment with the divorce lawyer. And I missed it because I was working at Bell Cheese's local factory. And then the coronavirus happened. And a lot of other things. And I thought they was closed. But one of my counselors told me to go ahead and call and see. So I called yesterday. And the office was closed, but they was working from home. So I was able to get a hold of them. This is for the next part. Pull up, because I'm not going to go all the horror details of my ex-marriage, because I'm just not going there right now. Maybe another day. But anyways, I go, and I always said that no matter what he done, I'd always forgive him. And I've done a lot of things I would have never done. for anybody but him, and I'd put up with a whole lot of things I would never put up with nobody but through him, and I always thought I'd forgive him. Until one day I got tired of it. He stood on my front porch after I finally filed for divorce, not because I wanted to at this point in time. This was last year. It was because he wanted one, and I was going to give it to him. Listen for the next part, because I'm not going to finish this. Part 8. The first year was awesome. I was giving him money, whatever he wanted. I was giving it to him. He was very spoiled. He said nobody ever treated him like this. And then he started leaving, going on for multiple nights in a row because he was choosing drugs over me. And it made me feel like I was not even an option. And I started getting depressed. I started getting suicidal. I can't tell you the amount of times I've tried to kill myself. And it finally ended. Go for the next part. We get together in August. He officially moves in with me. And we get together. They passed a law where you can get married. A few months later, by November, we was engaged. We was going to plan this big elaborate wedding, but instead we decided we was going to elope and go to Gatlinburg, which I hate Gatlinburg. My first wife, me and her went to Gatlinburg, and it was so bad of a marriage, I thought about jumping off the top of the mountain. When I was at the top of the mountain, and 2 months later, we ended up getting a divorce. And then my ex-husband never was, and he's like, well, I want to go to Gatlinburg. And I said, well, let's make a memorable one and a good memory, and let's go to Gatlinburg. And now I'm getting divorced. I hate Gatlinburg. This is the next part. We get together in August. He officially moves in with me, and we get together. They passed a law where you can get married. A few months later, by November, we was engaged. We was going to plan this big elaborate wedding, but instead we decided we was going to elope and go to Gatlinburg, which I hate Gatlinburg. My first wife, me and her went to Gatlinburg, and it was so bad of a marriage, I thought about jumping off the top of the mountain. When I was at the top of the mountain, and 2 months later, we ended up getting a divorce. And then my ex-husband never was, and he's like, well, I want to go to Gatlinburg. And I said, well, let's make a memorable one and a good memory, and let's go to Gatlinburg. And now I'm getting divorced. I hate Gatlinburg. This is the next part. Triggers, part 6. Same part. So when I finally met this guy, it's like love at first sight. I told my dad, but did not know I was gay yet, that I wasn't ready to come out yet, so don't tell nobody. And then we ended up telling I love you at the exact same time. And then I'm like, this is magic. This is what happens in movies. So I thought that it was my soulmate. And I come out to the whole entire world. And it should be a love story, but it wasn't. This is part 7.
It all started.
Triggers, part 5, same part. Okay. So when I finally come out, I always knew I was gay, but when I finally come out I was gay, I never thought it'd be possible that I could ever get married to a guy that I loved, because it was not possible for two guys to get married. I create this Facebook profile using my middle name, and even adding a letter L to it. My middle name's Joe. I put Joel.
Oh, shit.
So nobody would find out who I was. I think I used different last name. I think I used my mom's maiden name. So nobody would find out who I was because I wasn't ready to come out yet.
No, I get what you mean.
This is the next part. This thing, I was married, of course, till I have an ex-wife. Again, I don't know why I married my ex-wife. I think it was just because I didn't want nobody to know I was gay. Plus, I was a preacher, and I was getting my first church, and it was the thing to do, so I got married. I guess because I thought we looked better. I never liked a bitch. She was a bitch. She was a fucking bitch. I hate the damn bitch. I still hate the bitch. I will always hate the bitch. She's a bitch. She's more a bitch than my ex-husband. My ex-husband's a bitch. Okay, and I'm a bitch too, but that's another story. But, let's play
I'm thinking
forward.
I'm closer.
Because I'm just blabbing. So, when I do the divorce, it's not that I want my ex-husband back, because he's very toxic. I am trying to remotely be friends with him, and we do talk sometimes as friends, but I don't even know if I even really want that at this point, because he really pissed me off the other day whenever I told him someone had the coronavirus, and he said that, why'd you tag me in it? And I'm like, what the fuck? Why ain't you worried about our friend that we used to drink with, that we used to party with, and all this kind of stuff? And you're more worried about what people think of you, you narcissistic asshole. Listen, part 3, because this one's a bit more longer, because it's probably the most tragic one. Triggers, part 2. Part 2, I filed for divorce yesterday. I went and filed once upon a time, but I was working at Bell Cheese, which is a local factory, and I didn't want to miss work, so I missed the appointment. And then the coronavirus happened a few months later, and I thought they was closed. My counselor thought they might still be reopened, so I actually called, and they work for home, but they are taking things. So in a couple weeks, I will get my papers, because they say leave it on Fridays. And yesterday was Friday, and they didn't know if I get out yesterday or not, so probably next Friday. So the next week, I'll probably be getting that. Listen to part 3, because I'm not going to have that time. So, fuck it. Listen to part 3. How many videos this will take? We'll try to as many as short as possible. Yesterday, you should notice some videos with some different names. It's because I was triggered several times yesterday. It started when I had some medicine delivered to me, and a police officer delivered my medicine. I'm like, when he asked if I'm Billy Higdon, I looked at him, I was like, yeah, what the fuck did I do? And that's my exact words, I do believe. And he said, didn't you have some medicine delivered from the pharmacy? But I was like, yeah, but why you delivered it? He said, we're just helping them out. So I think that would trigger anybody, right? Or is it just me? Go for part 2, because I'm not going to finish.
I know it's better than it.
I think it's part 26. I don't know. Anyways, whenever I was saving them, it was getting full, so I had to probably do some of them. That's another story to reach while I'm saving them. Get there in a little bit. But anyways, I called that number, which I will post on here in a little bit, which sent it directly to the governor, because they was open 24 hours a day. The guy that I talked to said, this is a pretty serious issue. Have you called the Attorney General? That's not the county attorney. That's not a city attorney. That's not nobody local. That's the actual state attorney number that he gave me to call to tell them what has happened, because it's illegal. And I left a message for them to call me back, because it was closed, because it was like 7, 8 o'clock at night at this point. Go for the next one. The part of the landlord that pisses me off more than anything about my neighbor next door's landlord is me and him was friends at school. He was a nice guy. He's one of the nicest guys I ever met. How in the ever fuck he turned into be a fucking prick, I would never fucking know. But now he's a damn prick. And if you see this post, you are a fucking prick. You broke the law. You can't do what you did. And I called the county attorney, not county attorney, but the state attorney and the governor's office, and both of them be giving you a fucking phone call. So go to hell, you fucking son of a bitch. And now continue for the final parts.
No.
Of all these personalities that I create each day to get through all this shit, the trauma that I'm finally talking about today, and the triggers. I was posting shit, and TikTok says I was posting too damn fast. So I have a bunch of stuff in my drafts that I've got to post. And another trigger is I'm going to have to restart my phone here in a little bit, because even though I delete this shit that's on whatever, it still says my phone's full, and it's about the third damn time I have to do this. And another fucking trigger to all you people that says that I have an Android. Yes, I have a fucking Android. I don't have a fucking iPod. I don't have a fucking iPhone. I do have a laptop, but guess what? You can't use it on a laptop. So, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, them too.
Lots of fucking triggers. What I like to do to where people follow people back and all this stuff, I'm going to have to go through all my drafts, figure out why the fuck all these personalities was created, finish all these fucking videos, because I have a fucking Android that I fucking... And I need to get in the shower, change clothes, because I've had this shirt on since yesterday. I woke up still kind of triggered. So, yeah, it's been a bad day. But I'm still there for you guys. If you need me, I'm here for you. Just ignore me. Ignore part. I meant to say ignore my triggers in my venting right now, because I'm venting because I'm trying to deal with my shit, and that's what we all need to do is deal with our problems. If I dealt with it yesterday, I wouldn't have created all these fucking personalities, which now I don't even know how many I have yet. I had 28, but now I guess I have over fucking 30. Who the fuck knows? But why did we create these things? Instead, why don't we start dealing with our problems? And I'm preaching to myself as well as preaching to you. Deal with your problems. Hit them face on. No matter what you're going through, it can get better, and it does get better. And I love you guys. And I will be posting this on Speak Up Fam later, because it's serious matters. And I'll also be doing another one just for triggers that I'll post just this on. Yesterday, someone got in my face. First, bitched at my dog, which I didn't say nothing about. Then bitched at his dog, snapped at his dog and grabbed it and got right in my face when he done it. And I went off because he got in my face. That's a trigger. And I'm not going to go much on that one because that's not that much of a big deal, but just a small trigger. Apparently, compared to the last one. The first one wasn't even that big of a deal, but the last one was a pretty fucking big deal. Well, the last two, rather. So this was already 4 triggers, and it wasn't even 3 o'clock yet, and I got up at like 7 o'clock. And I told people, I was like, I don't know how much more I can take. Listen for the next part. I created the other day, a couple weeks ago, a group called Speak Up Family. I will have the link where you can join it, and the co-founder of it, so you can join that one. But I thought I'd create this one today because I had some triggers the other day, and I just wanted to do this one just about the triggers. So if you have any like triggers that like trigger you, talk about them. Or you can send me the video and just talk about your triggers.
whatever your triggers are. I like supporting people. I like helping people. So it's nowhere I thought I would help people. Use TikTok in a positive thing. I'll also be sharing this on my main page, which is Billy Litchfield. It will also be on the thing. So go follow both of us, and I'll see if he actually wants to be the co-founder of this one too. I'll give him a touch for it.
Videos I'll be posting on this group may not be in order because when I saved them the other day, I think I saved them out of order and I was posting them out of order, so I post them in the order that they're in. So I think there's like 20 or 30 parts because TikTok won't allow minute videos. I'm going to try to see if I can get an editor so I can do it on YouTube and add them all in one a little bit. And plus I kind of did this so my therapist can see it too. Otherwise I'll have to explain to her all this.